So if you have any questions, hashtag Relationship Gurus, and we can fix this all for you as long as one of the offended parties is named Ray.
Yeah, it's a big stipulation, but it's an important one.
You might be thinking, hey, that's hard to find.
Do you know someone named Ray that you've been estranged from?
Statistically speaking, 50% of people have had a falling out with somebody named Ray.
That's true. I cannot wait for the Steve and Kyle podcast, Limbs for Limbs, Celebrity Box Off. Is it Celebrity Box Off?
How else are we going to get
Charity Box Off?
But we need celebrities, even if it's just like an MC.
Oh, featuring celebrities.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Starburst that, Zach. That's got to be on there somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think we're airboxing with pulleys for limbless dogs. That's where we're at?
Yes.
Okay, good.
That I think you summarized it well. I gotta learn to play, man.
Yeah.
Imagine if... I wonder if I could do that, like the impossible task, where like there's that guy on YouTube that he takes on these impossible tasks, or not impossible tasks, but he takes on learning skills way outside of his comfort zone in a condensed period of time, and he documents the entire thing. Like he wanted to learn how to do a wheelie on a bike, but go for 100 yards.
Okay, but that's got to be like his job, though, right? For that time,
I would assume so, because he gets a million clicks on YouTube.
So that's the difference between that person and the other. Well, we'll call it 100% of America, because they don't have the time to do that. If you give me 12 hours a day, tell me I'm getting paid to do this.
How long?
I'll be making balloon animals while riding backward on a unicycle on a tightrope.
How long do you think it would honestly take you to learn the piano solo to Malt Shop Bob on the piano?
You're talking man hours?
Yeah. What other kind of hours are there?
Well, I didn't know if you're talking like days. Like, would it take like 3 weeks or 4 weeks?
Well,
like
I mean, however you want to, you know, if you were to basically, like the YouTube guy that we're talking about, I forget what his name is. He's an Irish guy.
Okay.
He's got a great accent, and but what he does is he times it. So like, all right, day 1, minute 1, you see the stopwatch running, and he tries to do the wheelie for the first time, or he tried to something else was like play something on a flute, or so he just picks things that he's never done before.
I mean, it's such a fantastic idea and a awesome way to broaden your abilities and your horizon. I think if you gave me, because so you're talking just the solo portion right now?
Yeah. So this part.
Ooh, boy, that's tough. Yeah.
How cool would you feel though, right at this point? The right there.
Oh yeah, where it's just in my mind. I don't know anything about a piano. From what I hear is there's 88 of them or 188. What is it?
I don't think it's 180.
But what if you count the black ones and the white ones? It's still not. Is it just 88?
I think so.
Is it 88 just ivory?
No,
or
I think
is
it's
it
88. I think it's 88 black and white total.
Oh, God, it's an idiot machine then. Anybody can learn 88 of them.
It's an idiot machine, huh?
What? I mean, so in terms of competence, you've got, in that same realm now, you've got the piano, the recorder.
Boy, I don't know if I'd put them on the same.
The rain stick.
The rain stick, and overwhelmingly, it was determined that does not make music, it just makes noise.
We never discussed those polls, so I don't recall.
I believe it was about 90-10.
And finally,
in my favor,
the violin. So those are all in that category.
So you're gonna put now I agree. I think now with zero musical ability, I would think that violin and piano, probably about the same level, maybe. Mixing a rain stick, though, I mean...
Again, this is the second time in 3 weeks, or 4 weeks, you have discounted the necessity of a rain stick.
Necessity?
The musical attributes, the stylings of a rain stick. And I personally don't think I'll stand for it any longer. but it's in that same category. The piano. So the four.
So playing a rain stick is the same as this.
I mean, I'm just saying, all the notes you can play on a piano, which apparently there's 88 of them.
Well, there's 88 keys.
Okay, so you smash two of them together at once, and we're going to call that a different note. Is that what that is?
Well, I don't know. This is coming from the guy who also 1 minute ago said, wait, are there 88 keys or 188
Oh, I'm
keys?
so sorry, piano man. Just 'cause you grew up in Billy Joel country. Excuse the idiot who doesn't know all the mechanics of a piano.
I don't know, but what I do know is those numbers are so far apart. Like, so insanely far apart.
I just know there's a couple of eights in there. I just didn't know if there was a prefix.
Yeah, maybe it's 888.
Listen,
who knows?
Isn't a grand piano, does that have more, or is it just the rest of the piano then that's larger than the actual?
I think the rest of the piano is just larger. It produces a more grand noise.
Is that the difference? If like a grand piano compared to the one that you see in your local shopping mall or thrift store that says, play me for fun.
Oh, like the upright. Okay, you're talking upright piano.
For God's sake. What is that?
That's the one that it stands like a grand or a baby grand.
Yeah.
It's like a dinner table, whereas an upright is
like a rectangle.
It looks
right?
like a bookshelf.
Okay. Yeah. So it's literally the only.
I'm sure piano players far and wide are thrilled with my comparisons to the dinner table piano.
Yeah. Well, you're behind me in terms of me calling it an idiot machine, so you're okay so far. But is that the only difference then? If I go out spend. What does a grand piano cost? Probably $5,000.
Oh, I bet it's more than that.
Stupid morons who pay that. Absolute idiots if you're paying that much money. I will construct you a piano. Isn't it just a bunch of like gerbil hair connecting some springs and pulleys?
Exactly.
And it makes beautiful music inside that wooden box.
Okay, you want a 2004 Steinway Grand M?
It's only 14 years old now. Are pianos like wine? Do they get better with age, or are you supposed to buy them new?
Well, this one has free shipping. I don't know what it was in its model year.
Done. Don't care.
That'll just set you back just about the average home income in this country, $55,000.
Okay. Again, I stand by what I said. You're an idiot if you buy one of these.
Oh, but you can get a Yamaha Baby Grand, a 2015 model. That was a great year.
That's a good year for the babies, I hear.
Yeah, that was the Baby Grand piano, GB1, 2005. $9,000. They got a video. Let's see if they show what it sounds like.
They got the hamsters running on the wheels?
Yeah. Okay, come on. Listen to that. Oh, I bet this guy could play a mean Malt shop bop.
You know what the only thing I can think of when I hear that, and I hear $9,000, is those keyboards that would have like the buttons and it would just make that noise. Why not save yourself $8,850? Go buy what I think is safe to say a high-end keyboard for $150 and fake the noise.
Remind me again why you're mad at pianos.
I'm just saying I think they're an idiot machine, and it's going back to you asking me how many hours it would take for me to learn the Malt shop bop.
I don't think you've answered yet.
6 hours.
6 hours.
I think 6 hours of doing. But think about that. All you need is do they call it sheet music for a piano?
Yeah. Okay. So you're telling me that I think if you were to sign up for piano lessons, if you were to go to the place where Annette works, you could sign up for piano lessons.
Yeah. Can she give me a discount?
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
No, probably not.
Let's talk about that.
I would assume that that the average lesson would probably be either 30 or 60 minutes. So you're telling me. So let's say on the short end, your first lessons are 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You're telling me that by your 12th lesson, you're going to be tickling the ivories in this way. Hold on, no, that isn't even the complex part. It's right here. So right now, since nobody can see you, you have your eyes closed.
Yeah.
You're randomly flicking your fingers around.
No. This is envisioning the music. So
playing
think,
an imaginary piano.
I think here's where
I'm sorry, an imaginary idiot machine.
An imaginary idiot machine. Here's where you're mistaken, Steve. That clip of the solo
enough with the emails.
Of that solo is maybe what? Can we call it a minute?
Yeah, I'd say 45 seconds to a minute.
I took 2 years of Spanish, and that they try that whole like, don't just memorize it, but like learn it. Learn what it means. No, not with a minute on the idiot box. I could learn that in absolutely 6 hours because I just need the sheet music, know which of these lines up here. So I really need 2 minutes to print, and then 5 hours and 58 minutes on whatever glorified box they sit me at. Okay. Which, by the way, I'm not sitting on a bench. The people who do that, idiots. Give me a chair.
So you want a chair? Okay, no bench.
Yeah, maybe even like a chair like this. Some hydraulics, some little recline back and forth.
So you feel as though you're already at a point where you can start bucking the trend.
Well, it's the trend of discomfort. Why do that to myself when I could just easily pull up a chair and play the same music? Are they playing it so loud and so fast because they're uncomfortable and they want to get it over?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. That's the $1 million question.
Listen,
right there.
Here, I think the poll question for this week needs to be:
okay,
is the piano an idiot machine?
I don't know. I feel like the way these polls have been worded, you're not doing yourself any favors.
Okay, how could we word something like that when we're trying to determine? Okay, can we then if we phrase it properly, it will be: is the piano an upper echelon musical instrument? Like a top tier? Like, is it...
How about, if given 6 hours, could Kyle learn to play Malt Shop Bop on the piano?
The Malt Shop Bop solo. That's key
The Malt Shop
here.
Bop solo.
Because Malt Shop Bop is, 3 minutes? I don't need all that. I need from 1 minute to 14 seconds. I know that because I put together the introduction every week.
I'm curious as to where the piano actually kicks in.
Yeah.
It's not really in here at all.
Airboxing
that's
with
it.
pulleys
It's the 1 minute
for limbless dogs. That's where we're at?
Yes.
Okay, good.
That I think you summarized it well. Piano! All right, yeah, so that piano doesn't appear anywhere else in the song. So that guy's he's sitting on the side of the stage, just bopping his head, maybe playing a tambourine or something. That's usually what they do to the guys who aren't really that good.
It's like what poor Dave Grohl had to do during the videos of Nirvana Unplugged.
Yeah.
On MTV, and he's just sitting there. He's got a stupid turtleneck on because that was the era, and he's just tapping a cymbal.
Either that, or he just has like a wooden box or something. Here, Dave, hit this a few times.
Yeah. So that's the poll question for this week. With 6 hours, could I learn the piano solo to Malt Shop Bop? And I'll tell you this now.
Okay, given 6
hours,
could Kyle learn the piano portion of our theme song,
Malt Shop Bop. That's
Bop.
obviously presented to you by Kevin MacLeod on a weekly basis. Kevin MacLeod is too good for us.
Yeah, Kevin and the MacLeods.
Kevin and the MacLeods. Yeah.
Still working to get all the MacLeods on here, minus Kevin.
They're a tough group to find, and I think that's because you can't find a lot of phone numbers for part-time home improvement store employees, which they no doubt are.
Yeah, definitely unlisted. By the way, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast, Monday, June 18th, 2018, the year of our Lord. Episode 100, and we kick it off with 15 minutes of debate about whether a piano is an idiot machine or not.
I'm telling you, I think you're overestimating how hard it is to memorize. Because in my point with the Spanish language, there, I don't need to learn the piano for that. I just need to memorize 1 minute of piano or whatever it is of piano sheet music.
So that would be the only thing. So you're not going to start with the basics, like this is how you play a whatever, this is how you play a whatever note, or you just want to go, all right, how do I play this part? Like,
Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. I bet you I could learn that without paying for lessons or anything. Just YouTube video. How do I read sheet music? You know, one of those clocks that they use in chess. But I need it for 6 hours,
right?
So I can clock in and out every single time I start.
Okay, so you're not gonna do it 6 hours straight through.
Oh God, no! What am I, just built with free time right now? No chance. And then one day, I'll show you the chess counter that I don't have yet, the timer.
That goes to 6 hours
with either 0 minutes or my anticipation. 5 hours and 30 minutes remaining on it.
Oh, so you've just upped it from learning it in 6 hours
to 30 minutes.
To now learning it in a half hour.
Yeah, half hour. Again, idiot machine.
All right.
Anybody could learn this. Anybody. And then you and I are going to walk into our local shopping mall, has one sitting right on the... Or when you walk in, it says, please play us.
And it's usually like spray painted or something.
Yeah, there's graffiti.
It's a cool hip piano.
Yeah, and we're going to sit down, and the mall's going to dance when I start busting out the solo to Malt Shop Bop.
I can't wait till this day. I cannot wait to see this happen. I think that would be fun for us to assign each other impossible tasks. That we have to learn by episode 150, so we have roughly a year.
Well, what do you think? What is the first portion of Malt Shop Bop? Is that just a trumpet or a horn? Or
I don't know. I guess.
Do we need to call Annette and ask her?
Let me see here. I'll jump back to the beginning of it, but I would assume it's some kind of horn. Obviously not this.
Yeah.
Right about here. Maybe a bugle?
Yeah.
That's
probably recorded by an Army cadet waking up the base with what is it? Reverie?
Revelry?
Revelry? Rivalry. That's it. Okay. So the cadets out there with this instrument, but
so
it's
if you have any questions,
so we just need one of those. So we need to get a hold of our military friend.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was like the commander of a space station or something.
Yep,
was he? He
that's
was like
exactly it.
I believe space station commander was his title in the Marine Corps.
Space commander. He oversees space.
I mean, we don't know what's out there, so you can't give him districts, you know? So he's got the District of Space. So we need our space commander listener to send us one of those bugles, which don't they have 0 buttons? It's just a horn you lift up and you just
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's all in the way you put your the way you blow the air through your lips.
Okay, so like a lot of other instruments where you have to blow harder or softer to get whatever you want out of it.
How's your harmonica playing coming, by the way?
I've moved it around a few times. I'm staring down some free time come 2036.
Okay.
And I really feel like
that'll be the time.
That's when I'm going to kick it in.
All right.
I do want to learn that, though. That's not an idiot machine. That's a top-tier musical instrument, is the harmonica.
The harmonica.
Is much more nuanced than a frickin' piano.
Some call the harmonica the mouth organ. And an organ is the sister to the piano.
Yeah, but even an organ's better than a piano because an organ's got those huge, awesome pipes. Exhaust pipes, I believe, is what they are.
Yeah, that's what they call them.
It's like the smokestacks on the Titanic.
Yeah, because when you hit a key, smoke comes out.
It's awesome.
There's an engine in there.
Yeah, and I've seen Mad Max, so I know how that works. And where they're playing the music and it comes out. So, yeah, no, there's no question that the harmonica is a better instrument and more nuanced than the piano.
Well, send your thoughts on that.
Oh, I can't wait to have Piano Loser text us or tweet us or whatever. You know what? A piano loser is someone who's going to email us. That's what that's going to be.
You're talking trash to those who use email.
To those who play the piano and would email us after we said, please never email us.
Okay. Well, there you have it, idiot piano players.
I feel
the line in the sand has been drawn. Kyle stands on one side, you stand on the other, and the determining factor will be whether you can play Malt Shop Bop or not.
I really need a First Take-esque podcast. But the problem is I feel like I could go for a while on my own, but I didn't sit down. Now, this is a peek behind the curtain that I hope everybody understands. You and I did not sit down before recording today, Steve, and say, believe these idiots with pianos? Let's break it down.
All right, and go.
That's the A bit.
Oh, I'm for, you're against.
Yeah.
And go. Because, I mean, why would we?
Yeah, right? This isn't planned. So, in my mind, this would work well where I just rail against piano players and the piano in general. And I think part of it is because they've gotten away for far too long, Steve, with like their highfalutin attitude. Like you're charging $55,000 for a piano.
Well, you can get one much cheaper. I mean, it's
you can, but they're
like
making
anything.
you feel lesser.
You could go to the sporting goods store, buy a baseball for $3, but if you want the Babe Ruth autograph, it's going to cost you a little bit more.
Yeah, but so if this piano's autographed, then sure.
By
the piano player who's ever made $1 playing the piano. If you're not like Elton John or Billy Joel, you're not making money playing the piano.
How much would you pay for a Billy Joel, Elton John dual autograph baby grand piano?
So we're settled on 88 keys then?
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe it's a double, so they can both play at the same time.
Okay.
So would that be 176 key piano?
Hey, are they stacked? Are they tiered? Or is it just next to each other?
I think it's like a dueling piano, so they're one.
Okay, so
they're facing
like
each
face
other.
to face. Okay, yeah. Whew. I'd go upwards of $500.
500, huh?
And that's both autographs. But you know what? I need COA on those. I'm not buying those just.
So really, you're buying the certificate of authenticity, and you're getting the piano.
Honestly,
as a throw-in.
I get that. I'm carving the signature out of the piano, taking the piece of wood, selling the garbage lumber, or throwing it in the fire, and being done with it.
That's a sound investment right there.
Sorry, boy. I did not expect to get heated about pianos and piano players today.
No, not at all, but such is this podcast. Now, there's something I want to get right to.
Okay.
We have a bunch of... I'll say viewer mail, even though it's not viewers, it's listener mail. By the way, we have to do another live stream. I think that would be fun. We did one time.
Yeah,
we should
and
do
our
another
reach is. I think our reach is a little better this time, and we could, with advance notice, we could make this work easily.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that again.
Now, if we set it up the same way, the camera will catch my right ear.
Yeah, we may have to get a tripod or something.
Yeah, and a lot of your basement.
Yeah. Well, we got the green screen back here.
Yeah. Oh my God, we could play green screen games. I don't know what games.
Now we're in Paris.
Steve, I'm surfing. Whoa! No, a live stream would be fantastic. Yeah, we did. Maybe we could do that with a loose end tie-in.
Yeah, we'll talk about that once we're done recording. But we've gotten some viewer/listener mail over the last week or so. So I think that there's no other way to get into that than with a proper intro.
I'm just remembering it.
And
hey, folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Did you hear that fade?
Yeah, that was abrupt.
How dare you? I faded for upwards of 1.5 seconds of that last clip. So we got some mail. Now, is this the mail we've been waiting for from our new friend on Twitter?
That's completely unrelated. This is something else. These showed up to the radio station.
Oh, okay.
A couple of days ago, and I had to open one of them because of the way I was curious the way it was packaged, and I actually I'll take
the open one?
Yeah, that's the open one. So you can take this one.
Do we have an official mail opener? Boy, we need to invest, don't we?
Yeah.
You know what's better than investing? Having someone send us a letter opener.
Hey, can someone get a custom engraved letter opener from like Things Remembered or something?
But I want like the handle of it to be our heads.
Or like a pistol grip or something.
Boy, that's very needy for something like a letter opener. This would be the first time we've used it.
Hold on, don't cut into it.
Don't
now,
cut it.
I cut mine, or I opened one of them because I wanted I had no way of knowing if this was radio show related, podcast related, or something completely unrelated that I didn't know about. So I opened one of them because I wanted to inspect it, see what it was. So I know what is in here. I'm assuming that what is in there are 2 styrofoam cubes. They look about 5 inches by 5 inches by 5 inches.
Probably a pound and a half each.
It's what I would imagine they would transport an organ in, like a heart.
Yeah, so this is probably reused from a crime scene,
most likely,
or a car accident where somebody flipped over into a ditch and had a car part pierce their chest and die.
Yeah, possibly the Jeep that I'm now driving around.
Yeah, the triple murder
Jeep. Death machine. So I opened this up, I peeked inside, I know what it is, but I don't think, at least in this one, there wasn't any indication of who it came from.
Okay, well, that's a problem. If you sent us
because it was sent from the return address is a company called Zazzle in Greenwood, South Carolina, which I'm not familiar with, but I'm...
Oh, boy. This thing is... We really do need that letter opener.
Yeah, we do. So somebody sent us that. We'll open these next week.
Let's just cut all of it. Oh, I'm so excited. I love getting mail. It's so silly.
Hey, folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Seamless. Okay. So, you now have yours cut, but it is not open. So I want, on the count of 3, I want you to open that up. I want your honest reaction. I want to see what it is. Like I said, I'm assuming it's the same as this one.
Sure.
But you never know. So, countdown from 3. 3, 2, 1. Open it up.
Okay. It's a beautiful mug. Oh, look at that. It's a picture of me with my dog sleeping on me. I love it.
Now, is there any paperwork in there or anything?
Nothing. Nothing.
I can't wait till you see what mine is. It's a coffee mug, but it's not a coffee mug. No. It's a tea mug that says it's tea o'clock somewhere.
You will not be using that for any coffee, sir.
No.
Actually, no, you have to bring that to the workplace.
Yeah.
Somebody has to ask you about that.
Yeah. And this whole thing?
Oh, I mean, you don't have one yourself?
Thank you to whoever sent this.
Yeah,
we need to go back and look at, because in the past month or so, it seems like a bunch of people have asked for a mailing address. So we need to know who this is from. Incredible. It's tea o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's Nicole. I shouldn't say that. I don't know. Nicole was talking about sending a package on June 3rd, so this would fit the time frame. Whoever this was, that's fantastic.
Because this arrived
very much.
The end of, or actually middle of last week. I got back to work on Thursday. We were out of town for a few days.
Okay.
When I got back on Thursday, these were sitting on my desk. Now, I'm assuming this is something did you tweet this at some point? This picture?
Maybe.
Yeah, you must have. Either that or it's an inside job.
Yeah, very, very much. I may have. I don't recall.
Maybe it was your
tremendous.
wife.
I do love it, though. That's
or my wife.
That's me and what I refer to as my best friend on the planet, my wiener dog, Watson.
Uh-huh. Beautiful picture.
Sleeping
about as close as 2 objects can be together.
Yeah. He wanted to make sure I was still breathing.
That's very nice of him.
That's awesome. Oh, the tea o'clock somewhere, though.
God, this is great. I laughed so hard when I opened this thing. I was so happy.
I sent you a list, by the way, this week. Now, we haven't talked about it in depth. This is still on our to-do list. It honestly is. I promise you we haven't talked about it much. Steve, you've been traveling quite a bit. We have offers to help us with this that we very well may take up on to assist us with it. I've never done anything like this. You're having a tiny bit of experience with the radio show doing this.
Yeah.
But we have a list. Now, some listener help on this would be awesome as well, because I've started a list of the merchandise ideas, the dumbest things on the planet that we have talked about. And now going back, it would be starting with a reissue of our World Tour 2017 t-shirt. Now, that would obviously pair with what I'm imagining will be our World Tour 2018 t-shirt after we get our billboard up. More on that coming later.
Yeah.
Following that, we would have the Throat Goblin bracket, the Throat Goblin National Champion ship bracket, the Steve 16.
Steve 16.
With the logo made and sent to us by Zach. That would be on a shirt. We have the Lucky Billy bar, which we've cooled down that campaign. We need to bring that back into the limelight. We're trying to take down the evil Snickers bar.
At Lucky Billy bar on Twitter.
And we have It's Tea O'Clock Somewhere, your newest edition. The coffee mug today. That's a fantastic... the way it's written,
what kind of mug?
Oh, sorry. It's Tea O'Clock Somewhere, the tea mug.
The tea.
The newest addition to your tea mug section in your cupboards today.
So perfect.
And the two newest ones as of last week, Steve. The History of the Mystery, where we did the heavy lifting on this one. We just want history of the, in little letters, mystery, but the O in history is just a magnifying glass.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be like an hourglass in there somewhere, too.
Ooh,
What letter does an hourglass look like? An 8? That's not a letter. God, I wish that was on purpose.
Oh, my God.
But no, I'm just stupid.
Oh, boy. Yeah, the... what is an hourglass? Is it the asterisk?
Man, I have a rough time with anything like sports Tate.
Yeah, on the fly, like trying to letters. You're really struggling with that. We need to add that to the billboard. It's currently the icon on our GoFundMe campaign, the New Leaders in Podcasting. Don't know that works. 10 speeds, nuts, and words.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what the original incarnation of that is, but lumped Steve's inability to think on the fly with letters.
Yeah, I sometimes get my letters and my numbers mixed up.
Yeah. So history of the... You know what? This isn't our job, Steve. We've done the heavy lifting. Zach, get on it. And if you don't do it, as of this week, we seem to have a new contender in the running for graphic designer for our logo, Steve.
Boy, Betsy really brought it hard to this week.
Because our newest show, our brand new idea
our
for
spinoff,
another podcast. We're at 5 podcasts now that have to be developed and operated here on the Lispin Network. Is Ray Connections. Now, this is inspired by your falling out with a former friend named Ray, and I thought we could use your impression of James Earl Jones in The Field of Dreams saying,
"People will come, Ray. People will most definitely come."
And that's how we will reunite people and their lost friend Ray. Now, maybe you're the Ray.
Okay.
You call.
So let's come up with a hypothetical here. Say old Mary hasn't talked to her buddy Ray since high school.
Okay.
So we'll get Mary on the phone.
Yep.
Say, all right, Mary, you ready to talk to Ray for the first time in 30 years?
Yeah.
Okay. He lives overseas now.
Yeah. You got to type in the country code.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, no, he has an accent because he lives overseas.
Hello.
Oh, very exotic accent.
Pepe Le Pew, right? Maybe he's a Frenchman.
No, he has to go, hello.
Hello.
Is this Ray?
Oh, yes.
Ray.
Huh?
Mary wants to talk to you, Ray. Do you want to be Ray connected?
Got to have some sounder in the back when we say that.
Oh, no, it needs to be the tense music.
Oh, yeah. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just steal it. We'll just steal that music bed and play that underneath while we wait for Frenchman Ray.
Right, French Ray, who is American and moved, but then became French, acquired the accent.
Yes.
And then if he says yes, then we reunite them.
They're reunited on Ray Connections. So that's our newest idea for a podcast. And Betsy Booth took this to a level that I didn't know. We didn't give any ideas for this. Well, the one idea I gave, we talked about using Ray Charles glasses somehow in the logo.
Yeah.
Thank goodness She didn't use that idea because this was far better. We'll tweet that out here, actually, if you're listening to this right on release date. It's on our Twitter. It's on our Facebook. This is fantastic.
I'm going to retweet it right now.
Do you have it up that we can...
Yeah, here, let me pull it up on the Jumbotron for you. A complete knockoff of the Love Connection logo, the TV show Love Connection. So where the word connection, both the O's are hearts. Instead of the word love above it, it's the word Ray. And then like the arrows pointing underneath it, and then it says, need to reconnect with the missing Ray in your life? Talk to one of our relationship experts and make your Ray connection today. And then the fine print, results not guaranteed, hosted by the Steve and Kyle podcast. It's mostly hosted by my impression of James Earl Jones' character from Field of Dreams, so might want to update the fine print a little bit just so we don't catch people off guard.
I mean, I'm the MC of it though. Like, I'm gonna have to initiate and have the normal conversation with Mary.
So Mary,
yeah, what happened with you and old Ray? And this is all the time. You're in the background with your mic off, getting the pipes ready.
Yeah, getting into character.
Yeah, you're no doubt putting on a flannel shirt with 2 buttons undone, making sure you're sweating. Just a little bit. Well, it's tense. Got to lose a lot of hair.
Ray connections are not something to be taken lightly, so I'll be pretty nervous during it.
And then, I mean, honestly, the only interaction you're having is you talking to the missing Ray and busting out the James Earl Jones impression, and that's it. Your job's really easy for Ray Connections. I've got to do a lot of the hosting. You've got to, but you got to get into character. So I understand.
Yeah, it's by no means easy. Let me tell you. So we will. We always accept those. That is fantastic. Thank you very much from Betsy, and as always, Zach. Zach working hard. I don't know if maybe that was the finished product. Do you think that on the Limbs for Limbs? I didn't know. He didn't send it like officially, but obviously our Limbs for Limbs charity box off event for limbless dogs that we had plenty of ideas for the logo. And Zach had a real nice run at it on our Twitter. We'll have to send that out as well. Yeah, it's beautiful. You instructed him to use the Dare to Keep Kids Off Drugs font.
I don't know why.
So it's limbs, the number 4 limbs.
Yep. Yeah.
And then in the fine print, featuring Hollywood celebrities.
Yes, and obviously, as we say with everything related to that, Hollywood celebrities TBD.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, look, they're celebrities. Their calendars are booked months, years in advance. So we're working on it. We have some people making phone calls and expecting big results.
The entire promotions department right now in the other room, hard at work on getting Hollywood celebrities for the charity box off for limbless dogs, where, as we talked about, a full section for only cart dogs to sit and view the boxing event.
Cart dogs. This was boxing is in the style of Rock'em Sock'em.
Oh, yes, sorry. That's a big detail.
Each boxer is fitted with apparatus that only allows them to punch like the Fightin' Irish logo looks.
Yeah, Zach, I did appreciate the run at it, and I would love like a old boxing poster.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
With like the 2, and don't do actual Rock'em Sock'em robots. We're already going to have a lawsuit from Snickers and Love Connection on our hands. So please just do like a version of the Rock'em Sock'em
like
robots.
the knockoff ones that you get at Kmart, like
the Knock'em Bop'em robots.
Yeah, like Bust 'em Up bots.
Tear 'em up Titans, whatever you want to do. So whatever knockoff we need to do of that in like the 2 corners, just starbursts everywhere, and make sure you mention plenty of times that this is for the LLDA, the Limbless Dog Association. Now I don't know why limbless accounts for 2 L's. It is one word.
No,
but it's the LLDA, the Limbless Dog Association. And yeah, that needs to happen. So get on that as well, Zach. But no, I bring that up because I don't know if you know of any. Are there any awful merchandise ideas that we've talked about, or promotions that we wanted to put on merchandise?
Oh God,
down the road.
There have got to be a million of them.
So that's what I'm asking everybody listening this week. # Lost Promotions. Please send those our way if you remember anything we talked about or that you think would work on it. Oh, yes.
You had a good one at just after the 20-minute mark, too.
Was it?
It was kind of like a cough, but it came out like a little gremlin.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's 30. Okay.
Now,
so that again, that's the streak continues. Steve, we talked about it. That is a throat goblin. Again, that one is a little harder to hear for the untrained ear.
I don't think it will be. I think it's gonna burst through.
3, 4, 5,
now,
6, 7, 8, 9. 10,
what have I told you?
11 weeks in a row.
What have I told you? That viewer mail time was not over.
What? Are you kidding me?
What have I told you?
Oh, so getting mail is now a 30 for 30?
Yeah, actually. So hold that thought while I bring up the music because I need to hear it. It's been far too long since we've done a 30 for 30, but I won't let that stop me from playing it right now. What have I told you that viewer mail time wasn't over?
That Oh, sorry.
What if I told you that I had to leave the room momentarily to go upstairs and get another gift that had been sent to us?
That mail doesn't have to be limited to one item per podcast.
Oh, no. Sometimes, in fact, there are 2 items.
That any time you can play the viewer mail time song more than once is a good time.
What if I told you that this will be the most exciting thing you've ever opened in your life? ESPN Films proudly presents more gifts for the Steve and Kyle podcasts.
That's right.
Because
they all have to end with a question mark because we always have to be inquisitive about it. So you have some mail that you say you have to bring into the room.
I do. I have to leave momentarily.
Now, does this come with any correspondence with it, unlike our first pieces?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Hey, folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Nailed it. Oh, we're going to play it on a loop.
Viewer mail time
Steve's
again.
computer is inaccessible to me right now, so it's on a loop.
Dear Pig.
As always, we accept at the Steve and Kyle podcast. We always accept your gifts. Just message us. Oh, I have to cover.
Hey,
you have it on a loop.
Viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14.
My eyes are now covered.
Dear Pig.
I apologize to the multiple sounds this is playing over.
All right, and we are back. You excited?
I'm very excited. I love getting mail, especially podcast mail, because for me, it can go 2 avenues. It's either super insulting or very nice. Now, it wasn't mail time, but like the gift Zach gave me where I looked like the Lucky Billy campaign. He wanted us to use that for our new logo. Or also, conversely, just like this coffee mug, tea mug I received with a picture on it.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I forget how it came up because...
Can I open my eyes during this? Or?
Oh, yeah, you can open your eyes now.
Good.
Yeah, you're good. Sorry about that. A couple weeks ago, I'm not sure how it came up because I don't really know why we talk about anything in particular. But we decided to have a conversation and a taste test.
Oh, yes!
For some cheese. So I ran upstairs, I cut off a couple blocks of Tillamook extra sharp cheddar. We shared it. We loved it. We started to wonder, every state's got to have their own cheese, right? Every state has to be known for a cheese of some kind.
Yeah, it's going to be our new big bit. Cheddar cheeses by state.
Yeah. So that episode was released. Somebody said, you need to check out Cabot cheese.
Yeah.
Vermont's own Cabot cheese.
Sure.
And so we did. They tagged them on Twitter. There was some correspondence. You blatantly said, "Send us cheese."
Yeah, I didn't mince some words there, but that was the gist of it.
You essentially said, "How can we taste this delicious cheese?" They said, "Send us your address." So we got a couple days later, we got a shipping notification sent to us saying that a 10-pound package was on its way.
Oh, my God. That's right. I'd forgotten that it was that size.
Yeah. So fast forward about a week or so, and I get a message from somebody at the radio station saying a cooler showed up for you.
Wait,
and
like a full size?
Yeah, a cooler. I mean, it was a cooler. Like the styrofoam ones that you'd get if you were stopping at the gas station to get a bag of ice and going to the game. Got to throw a few cold ones in there.
Sure.
This showed up at the radio station, weighing, again, 10 pounds. And it was on a day that we were traveling. And I was like, oh, crap. I'm not going to be back to the station for like 4 days at this point. This was a Thursday.
Oh, yeah, you were gone? Yep.
But then our flight got canceled. Mm-hmm. So the person from the radio station said it said perishable on it. So I hope you don't mind. We opened it up and put it in the fridge because I didn't want it to go bad.
You know, I don't like the opening it part. You could put it in the fridge. Unless it wouldn't fit in the fridge.
No, it wouldn't.
So they just took the lid off?
We would have had to take shelves out of the fridge.
Okay, all right.
So she put that in there, and then I went 1 week without remembering. No, I just forgot about it.
So you're the reason we didn't have this package last week.
Oh, yeah, we easily could have had it last week. So on Saturday, Annette and I were out just running some errands, and I said, we got to go to the radio station right now. Granted, we were nowhere near the radio station. This was a 25-minute out-of-the-way drive, so I could go pick up what our friends at Cabot Cheese had sent us.
Oh, great. I'm so excited.
Are you ready for me to present to you?
I am. This is exciting.
Wonderful array that we got from our friends at Cabot.
This is fantastic. I can't wait. Our new cheese friends, because Tillamook Cheese did not reply to us. So you dropped... this looks like one of the larger bags you'll get at like a clothing store, like an Old Navy. If you go to Old Navy and you buy a ton of stuff, you'll get this size bag.
We got a New York vintage cheddar. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we also have an Alpine cheddar. So when we're skiing in the slopes.
Yep. The Swiss Alpines, I believe is what the Alps are short for.
A white oak cheddar. I've never heard of that.
Oh, my goodness. So that's right off an oak tree?
Right off an oak tree. Oh, this one I'm excited about. It's the private stock.
Whoa.
I don't even know what kind it is.
So they went into
this is hand-selected premium cheddar.
So they went into John Cabot's fridge.
Yeah.
And busted out the private stock, Steve?
Yeah, they did. Oh, you want to wash that down with some Farmhouse Reserve cheddar? Man, they love their cheddars here.
This private stock is aged 16 months, a minimum of 16 months. We got Farmhouse Reserve cheddar.
Hey, let me ask you something. Do you like pizza?
I have been known to be a pizza fan, Steve.
Oh, why don't you try some of their rustic pizza shredded cheese?
Get the hell out of here.
I know.
Actual cheese just for a pizza.
Oh, that's not enough. Throw on some 5-cheese Italian blend.
This is outstanding.
Or bacon cheddar? Are you kidding me?
Okay. This is... what a haul.
Also, mac and cheese shredded cheese.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know there was a specific one. 4-cheese Mexican. And finally, Fiery Jack. Habanero, cheddar, and Monterey Jack. A cheese blend with a fusion of hot and savory peppers.
So we have 6 bags of cheese, 5 blocks of cheese from our friends at Cabot Cheese.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cabot Cheese, in my mind, is the only cheese.
Well, we're unfollowing Tillamook. Those bunch of scumbags can stay over on the West Coast where they belong. Mm-hmm. Okay? Keep your stupid-looking mountains. Whatever else you have over there, your dumb time zone, we're not interested. We're going to say Eastern Standard with Cabot Cheese from the great state of Vermont.
Mm-hmm. I think we should end this episode now and eat cheese.
I would eat... I mean, are we going to divvy this up, or are we just going to have a different cheese down?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like it's not necessary for us to record an episode while we're digging into bags of shredded cheese.
No, that would be weird.
I say we divvy some of this cheese up. Maybe... you
want to do like a draft?
Oh, cheese draft.
Yeah.
So it's like you thinking snake style or regular? So does it go like first pick, second pick, first pick, second pick? That'd be a regular draft, Steve. Right? Or do you go snake style? Or because I have the second pick, I get 2 in a row. So the picks would go 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. Harder than it should have been there, but yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, you got it.
Either that or we could find like a random generator online. I could type in all the names of the cheeses and then just bam, bam, bam.
That's how we get. Yeah, because I figure we each get 2 blocks of cheese. We'll each get 3 bags of cheese. We cut Johnny Cabot's private stock in half.
Good old JC.
Thank you, Johnny, for digging into the fridge.
Boy, this is fantastic. I can't wait to just. I love making on the weekend. Making some omelets, making some scrambled eggs. Yeah. How am I going to decide which cheese to use?
Well, I have
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different selections.
You have the world of Cabot cheese at your fingertips, Steve. That's Cabot cheese, the only way to make an omelet.
Oh, God. That would really caught me off guard.
So I'm looking at our Twitter right now, by the way, when I was looking back for our Cabot cheese interactions, and I have to mention this because we talked about, and you even put it in the show description last week, Steve, about, and I mentioned it when I posted it, that it was far and away the dumbest 2 hours I think we have ever done on this podcast.
Yeah, safe to say.
I loved every second of it. That should go without saying. I had such a truckload of fun that I loved it. I absolutely adored it.
We had the Limbs for Limbs, our charity box off.
Yeah. There was so much. I had forgotten about our discussion. We still don't have a firm answer on this. We talked about this. We had a little get together on Saturday night over here. We broke in the fire pit at your new house, and we talked about the proper way to shake or to greet somebody who has an amputated arm from the elbow up. Is it proper to A, shake the stump? I was told to call it a stump, that amputees may not appreciate the word nub, so I'll call it a stump.
Which doesn't sound any better.
It doesn't. So do you shake the stump, or do you fist bump the stump, or do you switch?
Bump the stump. Hashtag bump the stump, if that's the
answer. Hashtag bump the stump. Or do you do that discomfort and awkward maneuver of switching hands?
So really, this only affects you if the person whose hand you're trying to shake has a stump on the right. Because on the left, it doesn't matter because you're shaking with your right.
Do lefties shake with their right hand?
Do lefties shake with? Yeah, everyone shakes with their right hand.
Oh, are you speaking for left-handed people now?
Yeah.
Are you left-handed?
No, but I know people who are left-handed.
So we have a spokesman for a minority group of people in Steve who wants to say he can speak for left-handed people. I'd love to hear. If you're a left-handed person, do you shake? Do you initially shake? Because, they wear their watches on their... You're supposed to wear your watch on your off hand. So in your mind, they just wear it on their left hand because right-handed people do. Is that it?
I don't know why you're trying to start a fight over this. I'm confident that lefties shake with their right hand, simply because I know lefties and they shake with their right hand.
Maybe they've been forced to accommodate us right-handed folk for far too long, Steve.
Yeah, I'm sure they have been.
You're not going to believe this, but somehow we digress. So we had that conversation. We plenty of others. I forget what else there even was, but obviously we're talking about putting up a billboard in rural Ohio. That's been a running thing. So just tons of idiocy last week.
Again, the best form of advertising in 2018.
We do have to get to that here soon. So we got these tweets from our friend Jake. Comfortable calling him a friend. He listens to the podcast. He's a teammate on our softball team, Team Remax.
Have we revealed to him?
No, we need to do that this week. We should probably. Do you want to just bring it this week?
Yeah,
let's do that. From Jake, tweeted at me personally on Twitter, you personally on Twitter, and the show account. I don't know what the F I just listened to. I've heard podcasts where the host clearly explained that they were high for the recording, and that still made more sense than half the episode. Thinking back on it, it's like trying to put pieces together after a night of drinking. I know we were here, and then we were there, but the middle part is completely gone, and all I know is that we ended up there, and that's just how it is. I loved it. Wakes up in friend's house. Hey guys, what happened last night? I remember drinking at the charity event, and then I can remember people punching each other in front of legless dogs. Guy walks out of next room. And who is this guy? I'm Ray. Who the heck is Ray? That is the... I didn't respond to you, Jake, because I wanted to read that so badly, because that is the most beautiful summation of what we do on a weekly basis that I've ever read.
Sounded like poetry to me.
Absolutely tremendous. That's the only way to recap that.
Who the hell is Ray?
And we started this week by arguing about pianos.
Well, you started this week by arguing about pianos.
You are half of that argument with your, your snobbery look down.
What? My what?
Your snob look down your nose.
Oh, snob. Okay, snob.
Your snobbery.
I thought maybe you had said schnobbery.
Oh, I probably did. I probably misspoke.
You did.
Okay. Well, maybe snobbery is... Oh boy. Sure enough, there's the snob again telling me that the little man's talking wrong. Big radio man uses all the proper words.
Yep.
Coming from a guy who tries to figure out what letter an hourglass looks like and comes
8.
up with the number 8 beautifully.
B, man. B.
It's B. It's got to be B, right? That's the only option?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only option. I don't even remember what was
History
that
of the Mystery.
History of the... Oh, there's not one B in there.
No. But that logo as it stands is History of the Mystery.
With the magnifying glass.
With the O, I need the O regular size, but that's the glass portion of the magnifying glass, and then the handle sticks off it. And I think, in the spirit of what we have done here with every other one of our promotions of ripping something off, we just use the History Channel font. That, medieval brass lettering.
It looks like it's on a book.
So, again, we've done the hard work for you. Zach, we appreciate everything you've done, but this past week, you let Betsy absolutely outclass you.
Gotta step it up, man.
Every way, shape, or form. So, we expect a better performance this week. That's all we're...
You know what we're going to do right now?
What are we going to do?
We're going to go to @BetsyBoo116 on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Navigate around her page a bit. We're going to click follow.
Hey!
We are now following Betsy.
That's kind of what I've been trying to do. I had forgotten. Again, if you donate to our GoFundMe, get our GoFundMe.com/GetOurPodcast on a billboard. I said we'd either follow you on Twitter or whatever, or if you share it even. I mentioned like that. And a couple of people have done that. I'm just trying to play catch up on that because I've done officially zero work on that.
Yeah, me too.
GoFundMe.com/GetOurPodcast on a billboard. And I do not remember, Steve, what our total was 1 week ago. Do you?
It was $250, I believe.
$250?
So we've had a big week.
Big week this past week. Our grand total for the podcast billboard going up in rural Ohio. You need me to vamp a little bit?
Yeah.
The podcast billboard going up rural Ohio, ETA TBD. So no details on that. Last week, it's been a slow go. We've been active for 22 days. Last week, we were up to $255. This week, the grand total of our little podcast, $358, Steve!
Hey.
All right! Woo. That is 22 days worth of effort, $358. We are firmly within grasp of getting a billboard where we desire and where we need to be, which we've talked about. Rural Ohio is the gateway to the world.
It is. Yeah. Some people use targeted social media advertising. Some people
snooze,
pay for fancy digital ads.
Outdated.
The pioneers, the true elder statesmen of the game, they use billboards.
Innovators. That's what we're being called.
Yeah.
Around the internet right now, Steve, we're being called innovators.
I'm sure we're being called something on the internet. I can guarantee that.
As our GoFundMe progresses towards our goal of $300,000.
$300,000.
I'm sorry, $3,000. We are, what does that put us, Steve? Is that like 12% there?
Yeah, I'd say between 11 and 12.
Not too shabby. Now, this ends Wednesday, July 5th. You'll be getting a new episode of the Steve and Kyle podcast. You know what? Either Tuesday, July 3rd, or Tuesday, July 4th, or Monday, July 3rd. This will be, that episode will be coming out. The cutoff is July 5th. Ooh. Then we take your money, and we will be done with this podcast forever. and upwards of $358 richer.
I just had an idea.
Okay.
Maybe we leverage our new relationship with our friends at Cabot Cheese.
Yes.
Makers of fine Fiery Jack habanero cheddar and Monterey Jack shredded cheese. Or the old Johnny Cabot's Farmhouse Reserve.
Now that's Farmhouse Reserve, not to be confused with Johnny Cabot's private stock.
That's right. Yeah, that is that. It actually comes in a bag that it's velvet lined.
Yeah, that's straight from Jonathan's home.
Maybe we leverage our new relationship with Cabot Cheese.
Okay.
We see if we can get them to, maybe drop a coin or two on the billboard.
Well, you've made no qualms about it. Last time I was pretty shameless in asking for a gift package. So maybe I leave the wording of this effort up to you in reaching out to Cabot Cheese. Also, what would be of help in a very kind manner would be tweeting at Cabot Cheese.
Oh, yes.
And saying, would you help our dear friends at Steve and Kyle?
Well, first of all, before you get to that, say thank you so much for your support of at Steve and Kyle.
Absolutely. Great
and then,
friends.
And then once you get a little rapport, maybe they'll tweet back and say, no problem, have a cheesy day.
Again, the millennial intern who's running the social media department.
Hey, let's slide into my DMs.
Yeah. Have a cheesy day.
But yeah, once you get a little rapport, a little relationship going with your friends at Cabot Cheese, your friends and mine, tell them Steve and Kyle speak highly of you. They're in a bit of a bind though.
Yeah,
trying to raise $3,000 to advertise on a billboard in Ohio. They need your help.
So not even their home state.
No,
Vermont.
But hey, they're not. They're not immune to the difficulties that a small startup, upstart, a small upstart startup like the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Yeah, 100 episodes in.
100 episodes. Maybe you can convince them to give us some money as a congratulations on your 100th episode.
Yeah,
gift.
And again, do not feel obligated to give us money. That is, people who have, that is an incredible waste of your own dollars on us that we appreciate immensely.
We promise kind of not to spend it recklessly.
Well, inherently, we're spending it on a billboard, which inherently is reckless. So you giving us money for that is reckless.
But you know what's not reckless? Opening up a package.
Is it the same one? Or is it?
An 8-ounce package of Cabot mac and cheese, Alpine, and sharp cheddar. It's got hints of Swiss and Parmesan, as you know, Kyle, with a smooth, nutty finish. And it's shredded. You want to make an omelet? This is your go-to. You want to make, I don't know, mac and cheese?
Yeah.
Just throw those noodles in the pot. Once they get a little bit hot, you drop some cheese in there. Take that wooden spoon, stir it around, make yourself a real nice treat.
The only thing, Steve, I can think of that's better than a nice mac and cheese brought to you by Cabot Cheese would be a hot Italian cheese dip.
Oh.
Now, gonna use your 8-ounce, use some Cabot cream cheese, which they also sell,
of course,
as well as 5/8 of this bag of 5 cheese Italian shreds included in that, and throw in some other garbage. You got yourself a hot Italian cheese dip.
Throw in some garbage.
Well, I'm not going to, you throw in some pepper. Obviously, just a pinch of salt. You don't want too much salt. Some slices.
I think you got to work on your salesman pitch here.
Slice of white bread. You're going to remove those crusts like a child. Process those into fine crumbs. Want to save yourself some time? Just get some breadcrumbs. 2 tablespoons of red onions, Steve.
Okay,
You're going to mince those.
Enough
and
of
then
that.
a half a cup of grape tomatoes. You use a red tomato, you're drinking pond scum.
We're now cheese salesmen. We've took 100 episodes. We've sold out to Big Cheese.
But of all the big lobbies to sell out to,
Big Cheese.
Big Cheese is the best one, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, my God. That's, again, GoFundMe.com/GetOurPodcast on a billboard.
If you go to any of our social media, Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle, on Twitter @Steve and Kyle, you it'll be impossible not to find those links.
Yeah, please do. Again, if you share it, that's honestly, that's a great help as well. Just sharing the link on your social media. So your friends and family wonder what the hell you're doing with yourself and why you're sharing this. This is one of those that's going to pop up on like a Twitter feed or a family Facebook feed, right? And it's going to be right below, my child has lymphoma and the insurance company denied their claim. Please help. And then right above that is going to be a share that says the new leaders in podcasting, 10 speeds, nuts, words. Help get our podcast on a billboard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you're just going to have to decide. Let's say you have $10 that week.
Look, we all have our priorities in life.
Yeah. Now yes! A rare, not so rare anymore, 2 for a week for Steve's throat noises.
Double whammy.
Now you're going to have to decide this week. Is your spare $10 going to help what I'm presuming is incurable lymphoma? Probably not. But is it going to help get Steve and I well on our way to a podcast billboard in rural Ohio? You're damn right it is. Just saying. Priorities.
Yeah. Hashtag just saying.
You can get away with anything. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Are we actually going to get to anything today?
What do we got? You know what? Just read it off the dot. You know what? You can see it because, again, the Jumbotron's over my right shoulder at about 4:30 if I'm looking at a clock. So, Steve, you've got the rundown of the hot items we wanted to get to this week.
You could just simply turn your head.
I mean, I got this whole thing in front of me and the screen and busy with the cheese. I'll let you pick an item off of that there list and let's break it down.
That excuse you gave was pretty cheesy.
How cheesy?
Oh, kind of like a bacon cheddar. Full flavors of hickory smoke and bacon. Shredded, of course. 8 ounces. Cabot cheese, at Cabot Cheese on Twitter. From our cooperative of farm families since 1919.
And currently our presumptive main sponsor for our billboard.
Just 110 calories.
Sorry, I didn't know we were going nutrition
per serving. 8 servings, of course, in this bag.
8 ounce serving, yeah. So it's a 1 ounce per serving then, Steve?
Oh, yeah. They this one complete with the recipe for bacon cheddar ale soup. Or slow cooker bacon mac and cheese.
Ooh.
How about that also?
Wonder if you could mix the bacon cheddar cheese and the mac and cheese and make a bacon cheddar mac and cheese with a couple of fine products from Cabot Cheese.
I bet that was their intention, and I bet that's going to happen.
That's beautiful. Yeah, you know what? You understand the importance. We were on a time schedule today. I've got a big event I got to get to. Mm-hmm. So why don't you go ahead, and if there's anything you deem necessary to get to right now, let's break it down.
What is this? We need to buy it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how to get into that, but that's something we talked about this week.
What was the name?
Okay. So,
just realized didn't do a Fast Five.
Well, some of us are prepared. So, I don't have an inkling of how we got onto this topic this weekend, Steve. Do you?
I know at one point I saw a shooting star.
You did say that.
I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
Yeah, I don't remember. You did say something about that. We got to talking as grown-ups are known to do at a social gathering. We got to talking about constellations. And we got to talking about astrology. I believe Annette read all of our horoscopes.
Yeah.
She put on her wizard hat.
She does that all the time.
Sprinkled some of the magic dust into the fire.
Voodoo powder.
And said, you as a Sagittarius, you're going to be happy. And that was a big hitter of the night.
Fantastic.
That's what horoscopers... What are those people?
Horoscopists.
Horoscopists. Sorry, I don't want to demean them. That's what horoscopists do. So we had that read. We got to talking. Our next big project, which our podcast is turning into a Steve DIY project. where we decide we're undertaking one thing. A billboard's enough right now.
Yeah.
We need to undertake, though, a second project, maybe directly after the billboard.
What was it?
We need a star in our name. Because I'm tired of the idiotic constellation names that have been come to children. That's what all the kids know, the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper. And the one that really gets me is Orion's Belt. Now, who the hell is Orion? And honestly, why don't I just pick 5 stars in a row and call that my belt?
What was the name that you...
So I want a constellation. I don't just want 1 star. I want like 6 in the same area.
Not sure you can do that. I don't think you can just...
the International Star Registry, Steve?
Rocky Moselle, of course.
You telling me if I call Rocky tomorrow and I say, Rocky, hear me out. Orion's Belt, that's the 1980s. We're upgrading, and here's what we need. The new constellation, Johnny Wilkins Shoelace.
That's what it was.
Now, I don't know why those words came out of my mouth in that order.
Doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you were very disappointed looking up at the stars when you said, I'm pissed when people know all these constellations.
Oh, yeah, because that's...
Oh, look, there's Johnny Wilkins' Shoelace.
Because that's why people... that's what things people get mad about.
Yeah.
Is named constellations. So that's where I'm at right now. Our next, I don't want to say mine, because this is a podcast effort. Our next big crusade following the billboard, and this is just putting the feelers out there. Maybe somebody's bought a star. Maybe you've bought a hole on the moon. They have them for all the things now.
Hole on the
moon? A footprint. Like, hey, that's my patch of moon. It's in my name. You can't put your foot there. Well, what we want is a couple of stars. Now I have no idea how much this costs. I know it's been on infomercials, like you said. Rocky Moselle.
Rocky Moselle.
Rocky Weasel.
Let's see. Rocky International.
Because we need just in a row. Like, I need to be able to pick an area and get like 6 stars, maybe one like where the last 3 droop, so it looks like a shoelace. And we're calling that constellation Johnny Wilkins Shoelace.
Oh boy.
Oh no, is it more than you thought?
When you buy a star, we offer a variety of packages to choose from that meets everyone's budget. Our prices range from $19.95.
That's it?
To over $100.
Oh my God, we're going to have a constellation. So how do we go about naming the constellation? Do we have to call the Horoscopist Society?
No, you have to go. Oh boy, I think I'm going through Rocky Moselle's competitor here. This is Name a Star Live.
Oh boy, yeah, that is the direct competition. So do they each get half of space? And can we check with the commander of space on that, how that gets divvied up?
Yeah. Because it would be unfortunate if, if you bought a star and then you got there and somebody else is already, squatting on your star.
Yeah, it's not right. No. I don't want duplicate ownership of a star. Once we get these 5 or 6 stars in a row, again, the last 3 that droop, replicating a shoelace dangling off of a shoe.
Wait, so the whole shoe or just the shoe?
Just the lace. Okay. So it's,
of course.
I'm thinking,
Stupid question.
Never seen a shoelace before, Steve, for God's sake. So about 3 in a row, and then the 4th is, slightly down. It's like a bell curve situation.
Yeah.
And it will replicate a shoelace. That will be the Steve and Kyle podcast constellation. Johnny Wilkins
shoelace. Of course. Boy, this is a great idea.
You think billboards are next wave for advertising? Wait till we got our name on 6 stars.
So if we take the base package, $19.95, do you think they'll give us a grouping together?
Listen, if we can't talk Rocky or his direct... First of all, this works great for us. We bargain against one another, right? So we bargain against Rocky Moselle, Rocky Weasel, against Name a Star
I don't know why
Live.
You say the name somewhat right, and then you insist on saying it wrong just to stick it to him. Rocky sounds like a nice man.
name's Rocky, and he's selling fake deeds to stars.
God, you bite your tongue.
So we bid one of Rocky told me we could get these 6 for Johnny Wilkins' shoelace for $110, and then Name a Star idiot says I'll do it for $99.95. I think we can get 6 stars for less than $100 if we buy them in a group, Steve.
That would be a good deal. How big's a star? Like the sun is a star, right?
Yes, that's the biggest star in the boy. We are dancing in some territory here because we had somebody yell at us about not knowing the line of succession in England.
Yeah, and a lot of people were mad at us about not knowing that all nuts came in shells.
What do you think people are going to do to us when we don't realize how big stars are? Like, are they measured? Obviously, we've never been to a star.
Yeah.
So if I measure it, it's a quarter of a pinky nail.
Yeah.
How big are stars? That's a question that needs some answering.
Sounds like a question for a billboard.
Can we store our trash there? Because they're ours.
I've always wondered why we can't just they say that we're running out of the oceans, they're just filled with garbage.
Yeah.
And then they say, there's all the space junk flying around, old satellites and
Elon Musk's car.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to pollute the whole solar system. Can't we just shoot our stuff into orbit? It's probably a little cost prohibitive, but
don't we?
Can't we build like a rocket that flies on garbage?
If we can't build one on garbage? I mean, if we haven't figured out how to run things on water yet, there's no way we're at powering by garbage. Because what would a Frito bag be more valuable than a piece of plastic, or is the piece of plastic better fuel than the empty Doritos?
Boy, you bring up a good question.
I mean, as always, we're open for this conversation. The phone number is... What do you think fuels... That's what we need to do when we bring back 2 minutes of awkward conversation. Instead of the tried and true, how'd you start listening? We bring them into our conversation.
We need to revamp it.
We bring them into our conversation. Like, hey, what do you think would fuel a garbage rocket to the sun better? An empty bag of Doritos or a plastic bottle?
I think that's a great idea. I think we need to bring that back as soon as almost maybe next week.
A lot of bushes you beat around on that one statement. As soon as we maybe next time if.
That's weird. It didn't sound like that when I said it.
I mean, it's almost like the timeline for the APS 4.0.
No, that's not happening. It's just not happening.
All that time we spent in 2.0.
Those were good times.
All those episodes.
What, 30 episodes?
30 episodes. 30 weeks, if you will.
7 months worth.
7 months worth. More than a half a year. And now we're in this cavernous dungeon.
With a green screen.
That's a great idea.
We can be anywhere we want.
Yeah, my goodness. Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got a lot done today. We're buying a constellation.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if you could Google that quick while we ramp down here. Can we buy a constellation, or can we just buy individual stars? Is it possible for us to group ours together?
Let's see. Boy, I don't like that one of the first things that came up was 2 things not to buy for Christmas.
Oh, it's a star. Listen, and I'm sorry, because I guarantee we have enough listeners. Now, that's not saying we have a lot. We have enough out there that one of you have bought a star from Rocky Weasel for your significant other.
Say it right first.
For your significant other. If you have, it is time to confess. We need to talk to you. Honestly, you bumped to the top of the list. It's not even 2 minutes of awkward conversation. We just need to pick your brain about how it went. Is it just your piece of paper? Have you found it?
Yeah, what else would it be?
Have you found... Do they give you, the way to find it in a telescope?
It's bookmarked in the copyright office. That's what Rocky Weasel tells us.
But... Is he just using fake government? It's bookmarked in the copyright office of the Congress Library Historical Smithsonian. Because now the Smithsonian, so it's like missing an O.
The Smithsonian?
Yeah, because they're not actually storing your star records. Johnny Mitchell, I love you, Deborah. And that's in the Smithsonian.
The Smithsonian. Yeah, I guess we'll have to get to the bottom of this. A lot of research we have to do over the next...
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the next week. But like I said, we are time's an issue this week. I got a hot date tonight, Steve.
Oh, yeah. You haven't revealed yet where you're going?
No, I've talked about it in passing. This is not the Kesha concert. That is 2.5 weeks. That's 2.5 weeks away.
That's the one where I inadvertently insulted you.
Yeah, you did. You called me the creepy old man for some reason. I'm younger than you, and I'm getting. And
but I'm not going to the Kesha concert. That's the big, big takeaway.
Yeah. She makes great music. What can I say? Tonight, live, Steve.
Yes,
from the Van Andel Arena in scenic Grand Rapids, Michigan. Televised on the USA Network.
Live.
Monday Night Raw.
Look at that.
Oh, I can't wait. A lot of hot storylines kicking off as we enter the summer season here of leading into SummerSlam at the end of August, Steve, which is obviously at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Money in the Bank Fallout show from last night. I got my floor seats. I've got my costume to put on.
I hate everything.
I've got my partner in crime, former intern to your side gig, friend, TJ, also known as...
It's a shame we couldn't have TJ here today.
I know. I texted you yesterday, or was it even today?
I actually considered driving, because the only thing that's keeping us is lack of a stand for a microphone.
I
considered driving to Guitar Center yesterday.
Oh, we should have done it.
And buying a mic stand.
I'd have pitched in for that easily, because...
Well, no, we would have made the guest pay for it.
That's a good point. He comes here, we ask him for money, and then we turn it on.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the only way you get on the podcast.
Like, you want to say something? Oh.
Fork it over.
$10.
We need to get that done, because that would have been fantastic to have TJ in, because I don't believe TJ listens to this podcast. So it would have been a rude introduction when we start talking about buying constellations named Johnny Wilkins Shoelace.
What do you mean he doesn't listen?
I don't believe he listens.
What the hell?
I know. That's going to change when I see him in the next hour and I force him to listen.
So you're going to hold him hostage?
Oh, absolutely.
To this stupidity?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, we need his stance on... first of all, we need to know how much he's donating to the billboard. We need to know if he's going to be at the Limbs for Limbs charity box off.
His thoughts on Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, of course. Is he one of the most terrible people in American history,
sure,
or a good guy that just had a rough day
at the library?
As you said, yeah. Boxing up books, everything was going well. You know, at some point, it's in my vision, it's in my line of sight right now, so I need to bring it up. We need to get to this taste test between...
Oh, my God. Let's do that quick. Yeah. So what is this candy? Now, this was candy we were preparing to record last week, and we were about to walk downstairs, and Annette, I believe, turned to you and said, "Steve, don't forget the candy." My eyes lit up.
Yeah, we've had this little bucket of candy.
Are these wedding candies?
I think so. I think that these were something. This was something that was at our rehearsal dinner.
Sure.
That my mom and dad, yeah, that my parents threw for us.
I thought you were wondering if they were there.
No, they definitely were. And it was so there were some peppermint patties, and I forget they were packaged up in a cute little thing, and it's like candy, it's the spice of life, or some silly little saying. And so they were the standard York peppermint patties.
Sure.
But apparently they were a little short on the Yorks.
Well,
so
what it seems like happened is your parents, who I don't, it's no secret, your parents are divorced, but they put on this rehearsal for you. It seems like there was an agreement. Hey, let's get peppermint patties for the table. One of the two parents went generic. The other parent went York.
Yeah.
Which is how you're supposed to go when you're talking about a peppermint patty is already...
Are you kidding me?
Oh, no. Are they gone?
All the Yorks are gone.
Is already a niche enough candy.
Oh, no. There's got to be some in there, right? Down on the bottom? Nothing? Not one?
Not one stinking York.
Steve, we ate all the Yorks. So no, that's not a spoiler about how this is going to go.
No, man.
Because
It's over.
Because we need to talk about the generic peppermint patty, which I'm trying to find them. There's no chance. Pearson's Candy.
Oh, this one's melting.
Has a Twitter account too.
Yeah, these are the Pearson's patties. And so we brought these things down here, and because Annette she's like, I'm tired of seeing these in the pantry. Take them downstairs. You guys can eat them during the podcast. And I was like, hot damn, that's perfect. So I popped a York in my mouth, tasted the taste of the Alpine slopes, and then I guess that was the last one because I popped open a Pearson's patty. And I think we both did this at the same time. And we realized these are garbage.
Whatever.
Like, there is such a big jump between first and second place in this contest.
Yeah, if you thought the results of Ben & Jerry's versus Halo Top was a runaway, try a York peppermint patty.
Oh.
Then go down the aisle. Look at your feet. Maybe lift up your shoe, because that might be where they are. And don't get a bag. Try to buy a single. You know what? Better yet, steal one of a Pearson mint patty and compare the two. Because the guff I got for liking Halo Top is nothing. Now, I don't know if this is a regional delicacy for some garbage state or city, but if it is, you need to defend yourself. This goes along with, so the two things this week. If you have bought a star for a loved one, we need to talk to you. If you eat actively and enjoy a Pearson mint patty, because again, peppermint patty is probably trademarked. And now this paper is too bright. They can't even do that right. I'm trying to see where these idiots are based out of so I can send them some hate mail. But we need to talk to you if you like a Pearson mint patty. Now, is it out of line? Steve, you are a little over 7 months removed from your wedding.
Mm-hmm.
7 months today, isn't it? November.
Yeah,
7 months today. Happy 7-month anniversary,
Big
Steve.
7-month anniversary.
Got our gifts, I'm assuming?
Yeah, that's the gift of Pearson's patties, actually.
Give her a handful. Put them in her shoe. I got punishment.
Here, you married me. Eat these garbage pieces.
Oh, Jesus, now I almost choked on one of these garbage things. So, I don't even remember where I was. Is it out of line, 7 months removed, for you to call your mother or your father and say, which one of you degenerates bought Pearson's mint patties for our rehearsal dinner? Is that out of line? Now, you can phrase it however you like. I'm just using generic words to call them degenerates, maybe idiots.
Yeah, of course.
Is there a way to find out who bought these and where, like, were they just dollar store purchases? Like, are these, or were they, or was it just, is it a regional delight?
I don't know. I had never heard of them before. But I will tell you, you can get a 12-ounce bag for just... Sure wish they'd show the price.
Oh, it better be.
Oh, you can get a
$1.99.
case of 12 for $40. Like 12 bags of them.
Oh, I was going to say 12 of these?
No.
They're in the wrong market.
No, these are absolute garbage. I think I'll throw them out.
I think we buy those and give them out as part of our gift packs that we've never given out.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, we could send if you want a Pearson's patty.
A Pearson's mint patty.
I know, but it just sounds better. The alliteration is better.
Pearson's patty.
Pearson's patty.
Well, the problem is they mix the Pearson's mint patties. Now, if you just had that, right? If there wasn't a York, if there wasn't these delicious Hershey's Kisses, these delicious Dove milk chocolate bars.
Yeah.
If there weren't those, if there were just bowls of Pearson's patties, which again sounds like a box of pre-made hamburgers that you would buy at a wholesale store.
Like a Bubba Burger.
Yes. Do you think you would, like, actively hate them?
No, it didn't. I'll be honest. It didn't taste as bad eating it today without the York.
So Pearson Candy Company was founded in Minneapolis, Steve. So if you're in Minneapolis, if you're a Minnesotan, Minnesotish, yeah, Minnesotan.
Yeah, if you're Minnesotish.
That's perfect. If you're Minnesotish and you are familiar with the Pearson Candy Company or Pearson's patties, and you were raised on these things and you love them, we need to talk to you and you need to explain yourself. I believe we have a couple listeners at Wisconsin, maybe Minnesota. Isn't Jesse Douglas a listener from that area?
Yes, he is.
Jesse, if you're a fan of the Pearson patty, we need to talk to you and then officially ban you from the show.
Unless you have an in at the Pearson Candy Corporation that's willing to make a donation, not a charitable donation, of course.
No.
To the Steve & Kyle Podcast Billboard campaign.
Yeah.
You want to get us on a billboard? I'll eat your slop candy all day long.
We'll put that on the billboard. We'll eat your slop candy all day long. So I'm scrolling through their timeline quickly.
Wait, they're on social media?
No. This is their website.
Okay.
We're familiar with World War I. Trench warfare, awful. I believe millions of people lost their lives, inevitably led to World War II. So they have a dash on their timeline for World War I, one of the most devastating things the modern world has ever seen. The war years. Confectionery demand is great, but difficulty in acquiring sugar and chocolate is greater. Armistice couldn't come soon enough. The biggest problem during the war years was you not being able to distribute your stupid-ass patties to unsuspecting people who wanted to save a few pennies and not buy the York.
Yeah. These, I would refer to these as a wartime candy because
I wouldn't send
I bet they were great back then.
I would not move those. I would not send those to our soldiers. If there was a care pack and Pearson Candy Company,
I'm going to try another one now.
And Pearson Candy said, we're sending an airplane full of our goodies, which includes the salted nut roll.
Boy, the texture is just all off.
Well, it's wrinkly.
It's wrinkly.
It's wrinkly on top, and the actual filling looks more like marshmallow cream.
It almost has the consistency of the cream in an Oreo cookie, which is strange because I like that. This is dog Oops.
Pearson Candy Company. All your needs. Oh, boy, what are they doing? Yeah, so sorry about the lack of taste test, but that's because Steve and I actually enjoyed good peppermint patty from York, and we ate those and apparently ruined our own planned taste test.
Yeah. Oh, well. Do we have time for Fast Five, or you want to...
Yeah, we'll have to be very quick, though.
All right, here we go.
Fast Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, should I go first?
Yeah. I mean, I'm ready with my Fast
You're
Five.
ready? You got your 5 ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a wrestling thing, right?
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, duh.
It's the 90s, I say.
No duh.
Rad, bro.
Oh, boy, I can't wait for Money in the Bank. Hopefully,
That was last night.
Hopefully The Rock won.
Up on all the storylines. Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Oh, boy, I heard they put out an album. Surprise album.
Yeah.
Collab.
So you listened. You're a member of Tidal, the music streaming service that has that exclusively.
Yeah.
Successful, I hear. Tidal. Doing well.
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson.
I thought it was a perfect representation of how lame golf is to see
The outrage.
so many people up in arms.
Unbelievable.
I thought for sure he like shot somebody with the
Right.
the clickbait, like, watch Phil Mickelson lose his mind.
What? No, whatever. We'll get back to it quickly. Chris Hardwick.
Boy, that's disappointing. I mean, just like any of the other Me Too stories that have come out in the last year.
Yeah, rumor is up like 5 to 6 women. Similar stories. Not revealed, but that's a lot of rumblings about that.
Yeah.
And finally, world stage this past week, Steve. It's begun, the World Cup. Who you got?
Bosnia 2018, man. I said last week.
Right, Bosnia, and I believe their cohort was Herzegovina.
That was Herzegovina.
Sorry, that's my phone, Steve.
What was that ringtone?
Cheers.
Okay.
That's the Cheers theme song.
Of course.
World Cup.
You need to get that, or?
Oh, God, no. That's the wounded giraffe, Robert.
Poor guy.
Get to that later. So World Cup 2018, your pick, Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Herzegovina.
Don't know if they're in. That's our pick.
Okay, yeah. Go Bosnia, Bosnians.
Yeah, it kicked off this past week. Germany, big upset yesterday, lost 1-0, Steve, the defending World Cup champion.
Lost 1-0.
1-0. The defending World Cup champions losing in their pool play. I mean, come on.
Pool play, right?
You don't lose in pool play. You're the defending champion.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
What are you, swimming?
God.
Pool?
Chris Hardwick.
Yeah, that broke end of last week, I think, Thursday.
So weird. An odd story that he's just a mentally manipulative and controlling and abusive significant other, and sexually assaulted her, according to the claim.
Now, what? I forget what her name is.
Chloe Dykstra.
Okay.
Who is a cosplayer, and I don't know what else she does, but
Okay.
so she dresses up at cons and makes a lot of money.
Yeah, I had never, I wasn't familiar with their relationship with her, really with him at all. The only thing I know about him is like the Nerdist podcast and the different AMC shows, right? Like
Talking Dead.
Talking Dead, yeah.
And he has a Talking with Chris Hardwick, I believe, is on AMC weekly as well.
Not anymore. Well, at least not for the time being. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can bring him back. I mean, it's a similar. The claims are a bit different than the other claims, but this is one that he essentially controlled her life.
She wrote an op-ed last week. In which she didn't actually name him.
Correct. To her credit, I mean, I think she knew the way she wrote it, it would be revealed who it is, because the description she used was a person who rose to fame and CEO and founded his own, nerd media company. And
he was 17 years older than her.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
it quickly came out that it was Chris Hardwick who was issued not a denial. It was a weird.
No, I don't know. It was kind of a denial, because he specifically said that he didn't do the things that she accused him of.
He disputed the sexual assault and claimed that they broke up because she cheated on him. But there was I don't remember, and I could be very wrong, I don't remember a dispute of him, like, the way he handled her during their relationship. But whatever.
He was apparently very controlling when they first started dating. He
forced her to have sex.
And then basically said, like, oh, no, you're not going to go out at night anymore. They were having dinner, and she was drinking a glass of wine, and he said, yeah, that's going to stop.
No,
no more. So
can you imagine you going out with a guy who's famous, has all this look and appeal, and then you're out to dinner and,
she wasn't allowed to. They weren't allowed to talk. If they were out to dinner at a restaurant, they couldn't talk because he was paranoid that people surrounding them at the restaurant were listening to him.
Ugh.
So they essentially had to sit there in silence, which, man, that's just insane.
That's insane.
What are you doing?
No way. Phil Mickelson,
man, he lost his mind.
He's ruining golf, Steve.
Can you believe it? He basically murdered everybody.
So the hardest course that's been played in years, the way the course was laid out, the pin locations at Shinnecock and the dryness of the fairways and greens causing havoc.
Fast greens, right?
Super fast greens.
Yeah, man.
So the leader, I believe, after Friday was 4 over par. Just very rare for even a U.S. Open, which is known to be the hardest of the 4 majors in golf. So Phil on Saturday, I think it was a frustration. It doesn't matter. So what he did was he putted.
He was putting for bogey.
He chased the ball, and before it stopped, he hit the ball again because he didn't want it to roll all the way down the hill.
Which is what everyone does, like when they're playing putt-putt golf, or they're out on the course for like the one time every 5 years that they golf.
Sure.
For a bachelor party or something.
And it's against USGA rules, which he knows, and he knew, and acknowledged, so he took his 2-stroke penalty. His claim after was, yeah, I figured I'd use that advantage or use that rule to my advantage, because if he had let it roll all the way down the hill, who knows what it could have turned into. So he took his penalty, but now people apparently, if you ever wanted to feel like golf wasn't elite, this isn't the time, because now people want to have Phil. They wanted him removed from the tournament and pay fines and be suspended. Absolute idiocy in reaction to something so trivial. And who cares? He took the penalty. That's been
right. It's
there's
not
a rule, and he took the penalty for violating the rule.
It's not like he's fighting it. It's not like he's saying, "Oh, I shouldn't have gotten that penalty."
Ugh.
The whole thing is stupid.
It's so stupid. Golf's so elitist.
I think that what happened, it seemed like he did it spur of the moment.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that all ran through his head.
Probably not.
In that 3 seconds, like, oh, if that rolls down the hill, it's going to be at least a 3-putt. But if I hit it first, that's only a 2-stroke.
Penalty,
No, you just did it like because it was a stupid reactionary thing, and I wish he would have just said, "Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm an idiot. Like I spaced for a minute. I'm thinking I'm on the practice green.
Yeah,
like dude, just own that you had a brain fart. It's fine. It happens to all of us.
That he's 10 shots off the lead on the the hardest course that's been played in years. He probably was frustrated. I don't care. It shouldn't bother anybody. He took the penalty.
No,
Beyonce and Jay-Z, their co-album, right?
Yeah,
been streaming it.
You listen to it? You're on Tidal all the time.
Yeah, I got the Tidal Premium.
What's that cost?
That's the executive service.
$10 a month?
I think it is 10 a month. So it's the same as like an Apple
same as Spotify,
Music
same
and all
as
that.
Apple Music, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sure came out. Are CDs dead? Are those dead? Are they gone?
Oh, God, I couldn't tell you the last CD I bought. I know the last CD I had, but I didn't buy it. I was given.
Right, but you're telling me I can't go to the store, the local Best Buy, and buy the Beyonce Jay-Z album?
I have no clue.
This seems to be the thing. Is it's stream, iTunes exclusive, or when there were CDs, it was some musicians. What was it? AC/DC?
Yeah,
the album was a Walmart exclusive.
Yep.
So I don't know. Who knows if it's good?
I bet it's great.
Great tunes.
I bet I would love it.
Lastly, most importantly, last night, Steve, Money in the Bank. Your thoughts on the winners?
Right, the big Wrestle Fest coming up. When was it?
Last night.
Or when? It's last night.
It's last night. Yep.
It's happening last night, you say?
Yeah.
The Rock took on Rowdy Roddy Piper, of course, in the tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Have some respect. The man is passed.
The Rock's dead? I know Piper ain't dead. Guy's going to live forever.
Boy, if I got some news for you. Obviously, it's the fifth biggest pay-per-view of the year, Steve. The ladder matches to determine who gets a contract to cash it in for a championship opportunity whenever they feel like it. Pay-per-view, middle of the whatever it may be.
Oh, so they can just come out at any time and say, "Hey, I want my match."
Big moment last night, Steve. The women's ladder match, the Money in the Bank match, a great match. Kudos to all the women involved. It was a tremendous watch.
China do well?
God's sake, man. Alexa Bliss comes out on top. 5 Feet of Fury. She wins the ladder match. But not only does she just win the ladder match, Steve, she comes out later that night. WWE Women's Championship match. Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey.
So she took part in 2 matches?
How dare you? Ronda Rousey, Nia Jax having a championship match. Ronda Rousey about to win her first championship in WWE.
Well, I mean, of course, she's been there. She's been there for 11 minutes. She should be the champ.
In her first singles match, whose music hits? Alexa Bliss. She comes running down, Steve. Her music didn't hit. She cashes in the Money in the Bank contract, wins the women's championship,
so she cashed
all in one night.
Wow.
Unbelievable moment. Let's not talk about the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Braun Strowman, the monster among men, wins it on his inevitable push towards the top. No way Roman Reigns is the guy.
Maybe we'll get back to that. Okay. We're going to have time. Okay.
I mean, the guy's Braun Strowman. The Roman Reigns push has to stop at some point.
Don't worry. We're going to get
to
it. We're going to get to it, I promise. First on my list, the Trump-Kim Summit.
Yeah, looks like it went well. Love everywhere.
Okay. Next, the Washington Capitals.
Cool story for them. I'm happy.
Yeah. Very classy move, too. Did you see the article that they took out?
I did not.
Oh, okay. We'll get back to that.
I'm tired of that, by the way. I'll save that for my sportscast.
Okay. Sports Tate.
Sports Tate.
100 Sports Tate. That's T, the number 8, not to be confused with the letter B, not to be confused with an hourglass.
A lot of things happening.
Okay, next, the Space Force. Did you
Can't
hear?
wait.
That's back, right?
Yeah. It's about time we got that under control.
Space Force.
Rampant things flying around.
Yeah, man, we've talked about space a lot in a lot of different...
Maybe we should get the Space Commander's thoughts on this.
We should get the Space Commander's thoughts on it. But yeah, President Trump directed the Pentagon and the Department of Defense to oversee the creation of a Space Force.
Asinine.
Don't know what you're talking about. Next, the World Cup. Who's your money on? Bosnia like me?
Well, it was Spain, Steve. Now, we all know Spain had to fire their head coach one day before the World Cup because he took a different job and they weren't happy with him.
When you get a job at like a Pizza Hut or something? Best Buy?
You get the bennies, you can't turn them down. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Match the 401k.
Yeah, go to a manager and training program. You'll be running a place within 9 months.
You take what you can get.
Yeah.
That's a good question there, Steve. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Portugal.
Portugal. It's always a good bet to bet on Portugal.
Yeah, they got their language everywhere now.
They do. Yeah.
South America, Portugal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if that's not representative of the success that this team is going to have, I don't know what is. Sports State.
That's the B bit next week on Sports State. Portuguese taking over the World Cup.
Taking over the World Cup?
Question mark.
And finally, Father's Day.
Yeah, that was fun.
How about that?
Yeah, I was able to spend time with my old man. It was tremendous.
Nice.
I don't like those days. I like spending time with my Mother's Day, father during Father's Day, but it's like if you can't do something special that certain day, you feel kind of like a jerk.
Yeah, a little bit. I even felt bad because I tried calling my dad in the morning and it went to voicemail. So he then called me back, which is weird for me because it's Father's Day, so I want to...
Right.
It's like if you were to call me on your birthday, it would be weird because...
Hey, man. What's going on?
What's up?
Did you call for something? No. You sure?
Okay, then.
Guess we'll catch up tomorrow, not my birthday.
But yeah, I felt kind of weird. So I was busy when he called me back. So it was good because I let it go to voicemail. So then I could then call.
You got the victory.
Him back. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he tried to
one up you.
He did, and I was like, no, not going to happen.
Typical dad.
Yeah, I mean, as if it's not bad enough that you bought these Pearson's mint patties.
You think it was him? Can you call him? Would you be willing to send a text to your mom and ask, do you remember what mint patties you got for our rehearsal dinner?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't even send it? Because you have to follow up. And she'd be like, oh, yeah, I got the Pearsons from the store down the road. That's it.
I got
You'd
the
be
Pearsons.
Like,
they're your favorites.
You just lie, and you say, oh, okay, we just want to know because we liked them so much.
Yeah.
Now, sure, then you have to deal with them being included in all your gifts. Like, well, I remember how you said you loved them.
Yeah.
We've got to get to the bottom. Hey, you know what? I'll recruit your brother Mike. I don't care. This is getting done.
To try and get to the bottom of it.
This is getting done one way or another.
To figure out where the Pearsons came from. So I ended up, I talked to my dad yesterday, talked to him for about a half hour and had a great time. Good conversation and another 364 more days to the next Father's Day.
Nothing wrong with that at all. I was able to spend time with my father. Busy in the morning. We were emptying out our spare bedroom, making room. Had to selling off all my childhood, Steve. Childhood dresser, my childhood work desk, all gone.
GoBot's gone.
The GoBot's gone. The Talk to 'em Titans or the other knockoff.
No, it was like bruise 'em up bots.
Bruise 'em up bots or whatever. Yeah, we were busy. We put together the crib in the spare room.
Nice.
And was able to spend time with the old man in the afternoon.
All right, going back. The World Cup. You said your money is on
the Portuguese.
Portugal.
I'm telling you, the language is taken over all the way to South America.
That's your justification, because a lot of people can understand them when they talk. Therefore, soccer supremacy.
Tune in next week. That's the B-Bit Sports Tate.
1-800-SPORTS-TATE.
Yeah.
Next, the Space Force. Do you feel safe when you're flying through space?
I will now.
Well, you will now, because we got the Space Force.
What a weird directive, but whatever. They pulled funding from NASA, so this is kind of a semi-replacement for NASA. It's better to have a placeholder than nothing, I guess, but it's still silly to call it a Space Force.
No, I don't think it's better than anything, and I think it's all stupid.
I don't know any details, but it sounds stupid. We all need to understand that.
Sounds stupid and expensive and pointless.
Well, it'll be very expensive, yeah.
So,
but,
all right.
But is it any more expensive than throwing Elon Musk's car out there?
Yeah, but he's paying for that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's all privately funded.
I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Next, the Washington Capitals won the Stanley Cup about a week and a half ago. The first in their franchise's 38 year. Oh, I thought it was 37 or 38.
Maybe you're right.
And so it was nice to see veteran Alexander Ovechkin hoisting that cup.
Drinking nonstop.
Seems like a complete bro and is completely living up the fact that they won the Stanley Cup.
As he should, yeah. No, it's a cool story. I was still rooting for Vegas. I think that would have been the greatest story in sports history, probably, with an expansion hockey franchise winning the Stanley Cup in its first year of existence. But the Capitals are okay.
Yeah, the Caps took out a full-page ad in a Las Vegas paper.
Oh, snooze.
Congratulating their counterparts on the Golden Knights for an incredible inaugural season, saying, blah, 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 you guys are great. You are a great competitor. You are truly #Vegas strong. We're honored to blah, blah, blah. So you're not a fan of that?
No. Why don't they just get a billboard? You want to talk about outdated? You buy look at how classy is this? Player got traded. He took out a full-page ad in the Tampa Bay Ocean Sentinel. Cool.
Love that paper.
So all the 70-year-olds flipping through on a Tuesday afternoon.
That's more of like a PR thing, right? That's because obviously the players have nothing to do with that. That's the organization thinking like, hey, I bet we could get a little viral traction with this.
Ugh. I'm tired of it. No, I'm tired of it. You know, players do it, organizations do it. The gesture seems fine, but boy, oh boy, is it just a gesture and nothing more. And I'm not going to stand for it anymore.
All right.
That's the A-bit. Next week on Sports Take.
And finally, the Trump-Kim summit that took place last week in Singapore.
Yeah. We now have the quote to go off of when Kim Jong-un speaks, his people listen. I want my people to listen like that, when referencing one of the more notorious dictators in the world.
Responsible for
human crimes, or crimes against humanity, I believe.
Millions? The millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Did Trump go as far as to refer to him as his friend?
I don't know. That would be very curious. I wouldn't be surprised. So if you're keeping tabs, we have now made friends by trying to get Vladimir Putin back in the G7, befriending Kim Jong-un, another dictator, and picking a fight with Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada.
And Mexico, too. Mexico's not really fond of us, so the people that are both...
Germany?
Our closest, location-wise, our closest political allies.
Angela Merkel? Nope, not a fan.
Yeah.
Seems like it went well.
But at least we're friends with North Korea now.
That's the people you want to get in bed with.
That is sure something, right?
New allies, right? New friendships.
Yeah, friendships being formed every day.
I mean, so you can't argue with the fact that Roman Reigns, the big dog, right? It's his yard now. It can't be him anymore. He can't be the top guy. Everybody goes nuts with Braun Strowman. The guy's 7 feet, 350 pounds. He climbs the ladder, brings on the money in the bank. The guy's going to cash in whenever he wants on Brock Lesnar, if he ever should.
All right, I'm going to bring you back in here. Not because I want to hear any wrestling talk, but because it's the end of the episode and I'd feel bad if I just cut you off. Because I would never do that.
No, God, no.
But thanks for joining us. Thanks for sticking around for 100 episodes. Really, we're
holy cow, we barely
shocked.
Acknowledged it.
Yeah, we're shocked that that we've made it this far. Honestly, I think that when we started this 2 years ago, we were like, oh, let's just do it until we're kind of tired of it. And 2 years later, we're still trucking. So here's to another 100. In the meantime, you can download, subscribe, and review the show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, StephenKyle.Libsyn, LIBSYN.com, or just StephenKyle.com, on Twitter at StephenKyle, Facebook.com/StephenKyle. The billboard, what is it?
GoFundMe.com/Get Our Podcast on a Billboard. You can find it there, or our social media as well has links to it. Thank you to everybody who's donated so far, and please do continue if you're thinking about it.
All right, talk to you next week.